Well, it was the worst of times. It was the worst of times. The United States today, it's Watergate, 9/11, the Civil War, the potato famine, and the cancellation of Sex and the City all rolled into one. And thank God, due to climate change, the world's supposed to end in 8 years. And that reminds me, I got to pick up my shirts at the cleaners. So why is everything so bad? Because we live in the age of hyperbole. In fact, some say we're living in the greatest, most incredible era of hyperbole since the beginning of time. It's where hacks use extreme rhetoric to scare you into submission. If you don't wear a mask outside while jogging, you have blood on your hands. If you support the cops, you're a racist with blood on your hands. If you cut your finger slicing tomatoes, well, that would be right. You would have blood on your hands. But even more, if you disagree with Joe, you might just as well be Jefferson Davis himself.
The assault on free and fair elections is just such a threat, literally. I've said it before. We're facing the most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War. That's not hyperbole. Since the Civil War.
No, he's not well. Joe Biden literally doesn't know the meaning of the word literally. I mean, he says it's not hyperbole because he knew it was hyperbole the moment he said it. You could say he has hyperbole on the brain. And boy, hyperbole must be very lonely. It's weird how a month of challenging a contentious election makes you worse than a pro-slavery, Confederate flag-waving, non-recycling Democrat. But Joe's party spent 4 years doing the same thing with the 2016 election. The irony is thicker than Brian Stelter's thighs. Oh, Judge, you know it's true. Still, the hyperbole continues. Let's see what's happening over at CNN, shall we?
The Civil War? That's not even close.
No, this is worse than when Lee Harvey Oswald shot Abraham Lincoln.
It's worse than when the Hindenburg crashed right into that iceberg.
It's worse than when all those good soldiers lost their lives in the Battle of Chernobyl.
It's worse than when the villagers of Pompeii got wiped out by the BP oil spill.
It's worse than when the Manson family tried to cover up Watergate.
You got me there.
Little known fact. Now remember, during the Civil War, those Confederate Democrats may have owned slaves, but they never put on red hats, wandered into the Capitol, and stole office supplies from Jerry Nadler.
The Confederates, back then, never breached the Capitol, as insurrectionists did on January the 6th. I'm not saying this to alarm you. I'm saying this because you should be alarmed.
What? So wait a second, pal. January 6th shouldn't have alarmed you because by January 6th, you should have already been alarmed. What is going on in that brain? But true, we were already alarmed when you, Mr. Magoo, won the election. You claimed you were a unifier as you deemed half the country a bunch of Nazis. How is this rhetoric now not incitement? But keep going.
I never thought in my entire career I'd ever have to say it. But I swore an oath to you, to God, to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. And that's an oath that forms a sacred trust to defend America against all threats, both foreign and domestic.
Oh, man. Dude, you wouldn't know a foreign threat if a shirtless Putin rode his horse into the Oval Office and took a dump on your desk. So the problem we face as Americans today isn't us. It's threat misdiagnosis. Russia and China are both engaging in cyber warfare. Cuba's looking like it's ready to blow. And Haiti's president was just found dead with 12 bullets in him. In other words, natural causes. And in a dank prison cell somewhere sits a guy who wore horns on his head at the Capitol. But who does our fearless, formerly hairless commander-in-chief see as being the chief threat? You and me. And the networks, surprise, surprise, agree.
The questions of when, where, and how Americans get to vote are tonight taking on greater urgency. In some of his strongest language yet, President Biden today blasting Republican efforts to restrict voting access as un-American and a test of our democracy.
President Biden late today in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American democracy, blasting what he calls attacks on voting rights. Republican-led efforts in more than 16 states across the country. The president and that warning, calling it the most significant test of our democracy, since the Civil War, saying these new laws aim to limit whether or not your vote counts at all.
So solemn. So he paints targets on you and the media applauds. Anyway, we live in a time where rather than use clear, plain language to debate an issue, we resort to the language of the lawsuit, that your actions are causing irreparable harm. Biden's administration has turned our country into an episode of divorce court, throwing around terms like vicious and unconscionable. The Dems accuse everyone of every horrible thing imaginable until you sling it right back at them. Then they go from, well, you're an evil monster, to, oh, we ask that you respect our family's privacy. This incendiary language is spreading. On Twitter, hyperbole powers the scalp-seeking mobs, and its stench is present in every online petition demanding a boycott. Their targets are always racist, intolerant, authoritarian monsters, even when they're not in power. Just ask the gurgling Gurgen.
What we worried about with Trump was that he was crazy, and he's still crazy, and he was unhinged, and and he could bring the whole system down. And he has all these authoritarian tendencies.
It's like an IV drip of concentrated Trump derangement syndrome is the only thing keeping that desiccated husk alive. Never get to say husk enough. And our hysteric in chief is right behind him.
The 21st century Jim Crow assault is real. It's unrelenting. And we're going to challenge it vigorously. We'll be asking my Republican friends in Congress and states and cities and counties to stand up for God's sake and help prevent this concerted effort to undermine our election and the sacred right to vote. Have you no shame?
Have you no shame? Asks the hair-sniffing, plagiarizing race baiter. So as a new report reveals that our Navy's unprepared to defend our country, but is full speed ahead on anti-racism, we're being told that the enemy is within. Never mind Russia or even China, which now boasts the world's most fearsome Navy. The real monsters drive Chevy trucks, wear red hats, and listen to Toby Keith. And we must all go woke, or we'll never shed our evil past. So rather than look forward, we focus on exorcising demons from centuries past, all of which were created by Democrats. Their hate for this country runs deeper than a Chicago pizza. When we inevitably become a failed superpower, at least we'll know why. We deserve it, because we were worse than those murderous Confederate slave owners and their corrupt segregationist descendants. In other words, Democrats. How's that for hyperbole?
Period.
Let's welcome tonight's guest. Oh, yeah. She sent more criminals up the river than a boat carrying the Clintons. Justice host, Judge Ginny Pirro. You are a crowd favorite. He knows the Beltway like I know the buffet. Host of the Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio, Guy Benson. Lifeguard, lawyer, model. She handles more jobs than superglue. Turning Point USA contributor, Erin Elmore. And her behavior has steroid users saying that's not because of steroids. Fox News contributor, Kat Tipp. Judge, it is a pleasure to have you here. It's like I only saw you a few hours ago on the 5.
It was less than that, Greg.
It really was, but it
seems like a lifetime.
I know.
Yes.
We need to spend more time together.
I don't think so.
So no vacations? No, people do think you and I hang out.
We don't hang out.
I know.
You know why? Because you never invite me.
Well, you wouldn't like the things I do.
I wouldn't. I used to prosecute people for the things that you did.
She's absolutely right. You're right. So, Judge,
yes.
This rhetoric, okay, so Trump got a lot of grief, and I would think some of it was justifiable for being antagonistic, but he always went after people that were on his level. He'd go after Jim Acosta, the press. He'd go after the Democratic Party, but he wouldn't actually label people. He wouldn't say Biden voters suck or Hillary voters suck. He was always about focusing on people that could fight. Biden is labeling people as like basically as bad as slave owners and Confederate soldiers.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, the hyperbole, as you talk about it, is about making all of us feel that we're racist, we're oppressors, we're horrible people. And he references the Civil War.
Yeah.
Well, the Civil War was about not being racist. It was about making sure that people weren't slaves anymore. It was about Americans dying.
Right.
650,000 of them. Yet he uses that as an example of what's un-American. I mean, the guy has lost it. He really has lost it. And I think that Democrats go to Washington, and what they do is they learn these phrases. You're un-American, you're an oppressor, you're a racist. They don't know anything about the bills, anything about the laws. They just know about name-calling.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
Okay, but I'm going to say, Guy, that both sides, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to contradict myself. Both sides can be guilty of hyperbole. We saw a lot of hyperbole during the Obama administration coming from the right. But I think that this is different because our hyperbole is always based on thinking somebody's wrong, but their hostility and hyperbole is based on thinking we're evil. That's the difference. How do we deal with this? Why is Biden saying this stuff?
I think he wanted to give a very angry-seeming speech to paper over the fact that he's not calling for the filibuster to go away. I think he's trying to do like a shiny object for the left over here, but not actually doing the structural thing that they want him to do. Right. So that's a serious answer. But the more serious thing that I think I have to say, I think this show right now is an assault on democracy, really. And this conversation may be the worst thing that's happened since the Civil War.
Oh, I think you're right.
And you should all be ashamed of yourselves for being a part of it.
You know what? You're saying that now, but wait till the B block. Oh, man. B block is going to be worse than the A.
I cannot help but notice that all of the ladies are wearing white tonight. Is that perhaps a little
That's a good point.
I don't
indication?
get ashamed of myself.
That's true, but and you're also
ashamed.
wearing camouflage pants.
I'm doing it for the troops.
I bet you they appreciated it.
I'm doing it for the troops. They do. I married a veteran. I got to support the troops.
You're supporting one troop.
I definitely support that.
I'm going to go talk to our new guest,
Okay.
Kat. So you just sit there and be polite.
Well, okay. I'll try.
So, Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And
the pleasure's all yours.
I'm glad you wore white.
I'm very chaste.
Guy. What do you make of this this Civil War claim, and how does this help the Democrats at all?
Well, basically, this is like a real episode of the Housewives of the Democrat Party. This is a whole season arc. January 6th is the season arc, right?
Right.
And they're using big words and fancy slogans to try to get them through the season so they can get to that next paycheck.
Right.
But having said that, I mean, he doesn't know what hyperbole is. It's not one of the 31 flavors of Baskin-Robbins.
True.
I mean, so the reason why he's PO'd, okay, is because he thought Texas's voting law was too complicated and didn't want to make it too difficult for people to vote. So, like, what's complicated is getting a flat tire or getting a cavity filled. Those things are complicated and inconvenient. Showing your ID to vote is pretty standard fare. So what does he want? A fair? Does he want, like, I don't know, a booth with little girls where you can sniff their hair and they can have Hunter Biden's finger paints there to show off while you're waiting to vote? What is he asking for?
By the way, I have to fact check you. Those aren't finger paints.
Oh, he uses a straw.
He uses a straw. Quite good at it.
He's got a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Kat, I feel like I would be, if I was watching something like CNN, I would feel exhausted because every time I turn it on, there's always a new existential risk.
Yeah, it's so dramatic.
Yes.
Right? Like with Joe Biden, he's not talking to really Republicans about this stuff. He's just saying all these making these super dramatic public pronouncements. Like if you have a friend, you have that friend, you cancel dinner plans with her, and she's like, that's fine. You go on her Instagram, she's posting all these things about like toxic friends and like, don't make someone a priority when you're only an option, hashtag so true. It's like, my grandma's in the hospital, Jessica, except like it's worse because it's tearing the country apart over stuff that isn't true and is dramatic, which is way worse than just, Jessica going and talking to Sarah about you behind
Do you think
your
the
back.
country actually notices this bifurcating nonsense, or is it just because we're in this business?
Unfortunately, I think it's because we're in this business. Unfortunately, I think people, they have other jobs where they're,
I would say fortunately.
Well, yeah, they don't have to sit there and read. Well, I love my job. I mean, I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
You are. You're working with me.
Yeah, we were great.
Yes. Who wouldn't want to work with me, right, Judge?
Yeah, I love working with you.
Do you really?
Yeah, no.
I think they just believe it. I think they believe it. And then people get so amped up, and the country gets torn apart. Like, oh, if you support this voting law, well, then you like slavery, and people just actually think those things. It's awful.
But you know what? I think it's not just people who watch who are in our bed. I think everybody's mad out there. I mean, you look at people like right now when I drive, I just like look at the wheel. I don't get upset. I don't blow the horn. I'm afraid someone's going to shoot.
How fast are you going?
Shoot! No, stop it! Stop it! Stop. What are you laughing at? Okay. Now listen. So I don't say anything. It's like everybody's so nuts. You're afraid they're going to come at you.
What are you driving these days?
An airplane.
What are you driving? You driving a...
No, I'm driving my SUV with my poodles.
All right, my poodles. I don't even know what I'm thinking right now. Okay.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.